Hi YouTube, what's up? Just thought I would do hopefully a little bit quicker video, but at the same time I have a lot of new stuff going on that I kind of want to cram into this whole episode. First and foremost, let's see, it's been March 4th I think was my last video, so it's been almost 3 weeks I guess. And a lot's happened since then, transition wise. Let's see, first of all, the week, I think it was like the 7th, I went out for the first time in, well, like for the first time period since, coming out to, about 30 people now actually. The list is up to about 30. And we had a really good time. I've met some friends recently that are within the community, and we went out and had a good time. Went to one of the local clubs or whatever, and it was just really awesome. We had a really good experience. Of course, they go out all the time, so it's really no big deal to them. But for me, it was kind of like whoa. So. Didn't have any problems at all. We went out and had a few drinks and shot some pool, and it was just really comfortable, I guess you could say, as especially for someone like me who hasn't been out and done anything like that in years really. So really positive experience. And then we stopped on the way after we left the bar. We were going to go get some more beer and just kind of go hang out at one of my friend's house, and instead of going to the convenience store or 7-Eleven or something where I can just sit in the car and just kind of just chill, they decided to go to Walmart. So I'm like, okay, I don't really want to go to Walmart, but whatever. They're like, yeah, we're going to Walmart, bitch, you're going. So okay, so we go to Walmart, and nothing out of the ordinary happened. It wasn't kind of like the mental image in my head of, oh my God, look, there go the trannies, and it was really cool. When we went in there and just kind of browsed around, just did our thing, went to the ladies' room, wow. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, we didn't have any problems. No one was rude or, yelled, laughed, snickered, anything like that. So I mean, it was really, and obviously every experience is not going to be that easy or that non-confrontational, and well, I mean, hopefully they all will be, but I mean, I highly doubt it. But it was just a really positive night. We had a great time, and and it ended on a good note. So okay, skipping up to a couple of weeks from there, I found a place. So I'm actually moving out Monday and moving in. I found a room to rent that's nearby. It's not too far from me. It's about 15 minutes away from my job, but that's okay because it's a trans-friendly home. There are 2 other transgender women that live there, as well as one cis woman who lives there as well. So, and for any of you that don't know what that means just genetic female. Really awesome group of people. I'm really looking forward to being able to live there and learn from them, and just kind of have people who can kind of guide me and just answer questions and offer suggestions and that kind of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a really great positive environment. Just kind of get away from my dad and all that kind of stuff. I can I'll be able to dress, look, present however I want when I come home from now on, and not have to worry about walking outside and who's going to see me or who's going to know. And their neighbors are really awesome people. They don't give them any problems. They they stand outside and talk, and it's just really looking forward to it. So it should be a really good experience for me. So that's going on Monday, and then Wednesday moving some other stuff. So that's nothing major there, but the big news that, not really big news, but to me it is I had my first real therapy appointment earlier today, or yesterday, I guess. But so went phenomenal. Could not be happier. I mean, I was really kind of apprehensive about exactly what to expect. I didn't know if it was something that I was going to have to, kind of fake it in order to get the result that I was looking for out of it, and it's the complete opposite. I mean, the lady that I saw was just so awesome and opened up, and I went just like this for one, so that was a really huge thing for me. Is I kind of was toying around with the idea of how should I go? Should I go as the girl that I want to be, or should I go as the guy that I'm trying to get rid of? I mean, so I really didn't know what would be not so much comfortable for me, but comfortable for them. I didn't know if it would be something that that would be kind of a little bit too far for the first appointment. But my girlfriend said, when I went to my first appointment, I went the way that I wanted to be. So I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's what I did. And I mean, obviously it was down at my local LGBT center, so it wasn't really outside of the comfort zone for me or anything like that, but it was just a completely awesome appointment. So, and I mean, really, I talked a lot about. I did most of the talking because I tend to kind of ramble on when I get into this. Yeah. Don't let it out because it doesn't shut up. Um, so we went over things as from like childhood memories. How far back can you remember feeling the way you feel. Kind of just stuff like that. And I'm pretty much telling you this because if you're watching it as someone who is not really to that point yet, maybe it kind of give you an idea of what to expect. When you go in and start getting to that point in your transition. But it was a very, very comfortable environment, very friendly people. I mean, to the point where I basically was told, yeah, you're pretty much good. You should go ahead and start, looking for a doctor. So, I mean, obviously not for surgical reasons or anything like that, but I mean, they asked me what I was looking to get out of the therapy, and, I gave as honest of an answer as I could. I said, I'm looking to pursue hormone replacement therapy, as a start, and then, obviously much later down the road, go from there. And it's, that's kind of the my number one goal right now is just to get the hormones and get, start going down that path. And she basically said that, yeah, I mean, you pretty much fit the bill. There's really not much of a requirement for therapy or anything as there was, back in the day where you had it was almost a requirement to live full time as the opposite sex for, sometimes up to a year before they would even prescribe hormones. So, obviously a lot of that's basically out the window now. I mean, they think more or less if you are a genetic male who's looking to transition to be a female, or vice versa, I would imagine, and you've taken the proper steps and done what you need to do to get to that point where you're speaking to a therapist about all this kind of stuff, then it's pretty much kind of leaves a lot of the questions out. So it wasn't really analytical or anything like that like I thought it would be. They didn't really, it's not like she really tried to get inside of my head, which she didn't need to because I kind of filled her in enough to where I guess I answered most of her questions she would have asked. But that's just, that's just me. I'm very people friendly, and I don't mind. I didn't, I got in pretty decent detail about, my life so far, and, just what I've been through, how I feel about certain things, and just everything. And they were very, I guess she was, pretty impressed with the answers that I gave, and just my whole demeanor in general, because she said that she would probably within the next session or two go ahead and sign off on my HRT, which is just like blowing my mind. I mean, this is just never in a million years would I have expected this to start escalating this fast, which is good. I'm not against it at all. It's just a little bit quicker than what I thought it was going to be, but that's fine. I mean, I told her that I'm at the point now where I've told the people, that the most important people, that this is who I am, this is who I'm going to be. There's no changing it. There's nothing you can possibly say that can change my mind at this point. And I said, at this point, I'm kind of all in, and I don't see any reason not to be, or I don't see any reason to wait for something that is ultimately, I've made up my mind is inevitable. So they were very cool with that, and it's like, yeah, okay, sure. So I pretty much already know the doctor I'm going to, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be using the same doctor that my friends use, and that they kind of all go and see the same doctor, which is great. So we'll all kind of have just one more thing in common. And I'm just completely ecstatic, excuse me, and really don't know how to feel about all this, to be honest. It's kind of a mind blow to know that I've gone in 2 months' time, and and a lot of it's because I guess I've taken certain steps myself already. Just the fact that, okay, step one was, okay, I kind of came out to my wife and the majority of my family, minus a couple people that will remain in the dark until the time comes. But yes, I mean, I did that, and then obviously it was, started doing more shopping and acquiring things. Haha, got my kid's purse. Haha, love it. I didn't buy it though. My wife left it here. I stole it. Haha. But yes, I mean, I've just really kind of embraced the community, so to speak. I've been going out and meeting people, and kind of just experiencing new things that I've never experienced before. And I guess maybe for some girls or guys that might be a little bit further down the road than it has been for me, or or for you, or whatever the case may be. I just, once I had this whole epiphany in my head, hence the title, it was just kind of one of those things where I didn't see I don't feel any need to hold back anything anymore, which might be a little bit risky, I guess, maybe on my part. I don't know, but I don't really care either. So, I mean, I haven't told the military, I haven't told my job, but I have no problem telling either one of them when the time is right. So, and that time for me, with the military anyway, was going to be when I started HRT. I don't really feel any sense in outing myself to them prior to that, because, I mean, I guess the fact that you get a letter of recommendation and you actually are prescribed by a medical doctor hormone replacement therapy kind of seals the deal as far as the whole transgender thing goes. So it's really not like you get a formal diagnosis or anything like that, I guess you can say, to my knowledge. I mean, it may vary depending on the therapist you see, or the doctor you go to, or whatever, but there's really not much of a documented label, I guess you could say, on that kind of stuff. It's just like, okay, here's my name in this letter, we're going to fax this over, or here's your copy, and you can take that to your doctor once you find a doctor, and go ahead and start phase 2, I guess. So phase 2, here I come. Hopefully sooner than later. I will probably wait, even if I do, because I have another appointment with her in 2 weeks. So it's not like it's just once a month and it's going to take 3 months in order to get to this point. I mean, it's a matter of, I could probably even, if I had the money and stuff like that, be, heading to California with the military with my prescriptions. But don't really think I want to do that. Knowing, just knowing that it's, home, waiting for me at home when I get back is good enough for me. So I don't really see the sense in having, should anyone happen to ask me, hey, what are you taking? If they see me popping pills 3 times a day, oh, that's my estrogen. Don't think so. Not yet, anyway. But, yeah, so I plan on paying out of pocket for most of this stuff for the time being. The blood work and stuff like that, when the time comes, I may drive a little bit out of town to acquire that, just for the fact of just it might be a little more cost effective. From what I hear, and for any of you that are interested in knowing, the cost of the blood work and stuff which is pretty much where they test your blood. They look for your testosterone levels, they look for your estrogen levels. Everybody has both, FYI. Women have testosterone, men have estrogen. It's just the balance. I already know I have kind of an inadequate level of estrogen. I have since I was an adolescent. It's just the way my body's always worked. Obviously, I mean, I don't have a whole lot. I mean, the facial hair with me really didn't start coming in thick until I was in my 20s. So I was kind of a late developer where that's concerned. I don't get overly hairy legs or anything else like that either. I mean, it comes in, I guess, average, but I mean, I've been shaving pretty regularly now for about 6 months, and I mean, I can shave my legs maybe like once a week now, and that's just, I'm not on anything, that's just the way my body hair grows. But anyway, the blood work and stuff like that, out of pocket, I think, depending on which test you get. Now, there's like an initial one that goes along with like an exam. They'll do like a, what do you call it? Basically like a physical, just to make sure you're in good health and that your body's up for the challenge, I guess you could say. And so with that, you probably just have to worry about paying, your regular doctor visit. As far as the blood work and stuff, if you're paying out of pocket for that, I've heard that can be usually somewhere in the neighborhood of $150 to $200. Obviously depending on where you go, or whether the type of facility you go to get that stuff. And as far as the meds, I think a couple of my friends are on 3 different pills daily, and I think they don't pay any more than maybe like $40 or $45 a month for the whole thing, for all 3. So out of pocket cost for medicine, and that's without insurance, is not that bad. So the hormones, I guess in it, obviously could vary by where you live or what level of them you're taking. So I mean, I guess the higher the milligram, it could be a little more expensive. I'm not really sure. I will let you know as soon as I find out. But so yeah, I'm just really very optimistic at this point. I'm very excited just to know that things are progressing the way that I want them to, actually faster than I had planned for them to, but the way that I want them to, they're progressing. So yeah, I guess it's just a matter of, like I said, I go back in 2 weeks to see my therapist again, and I guess we can kind of go from there afterwards, and then a week later I leave for 2.5 weeks. But it is unavoidable, so oh well. I will just be able to keep a smile on my face knowing what's waiting for me when I get home. So, and then I do believe that once the point in time comes that I'm on hormones, I'm probably going to go ahead and just out myself to my command, and go ahead and just nix the military. I mean, that might sound bad to some of you, but I mean, me personally, if I'm so, with all my cards pretty much like on the table right now, I don't want anything holding me back. I don't want to be able to, I don't want there to be anything that's going to make me kind of second guess, how my progress is going to be with all this, if that makes sense. Makes sense to me. But, so yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to want to let my hair grow. I'm not going to want to, shave my head once a month and this kind of stuff. And, eventually, I've got pretty decent girls anyway, so if they start getting bigger and taking a different shape, that's just something I don't really want to have to continue to deal with, even if it is only once a month. And my contract is not up until 2015, so I'm not waiting. I'm not going to be on hormones for 2 years before I finally, get to the point where I start growing my hair and doing this and doing that. So I probably will just, take the easy way out and go the medical route. So, and that's kind of a common thing. That's one of the things with the whole don't ask, don't tell. It doesn't really cover trans. So, and I don't really want to be a statistic, so I just figured I'll just quit while I'm ahead. As far as my job goes, I don't really know yet. The company that I'm with is, with them being a franchise and me being with a franchise now, it's nowhere near as monotonous as the corporate end of it, but I still don't know if this is something that they will embrace, whether or not, I'll get to the point where they will really want someone managing their store looking like this that's, genetically still a male. So, but then again, who knows? And if the time comes where I have a conversation with them and they want me to, they don't want me working for them anymore, then that's fine. That's their decision. I would understand, and I will look for something else. Plain and simple. I don't plan on continuing to, once I get really into this, I don't plan on living this double life where I'm going to work as, a guy and coming home and being a girl for the rest of the day. That's just, I've been doing it for long enough now, and it's really kind of annoying knowing that, like when I'm done making this little video, all this has to disappear before I can even go to bed because I have to get up and go to work in the morning. And it's just, I don't really like that. I like, well, obviously I would not sleep in makeup anyway, but like with my nails, paint my nails to go out and do what I want and have to take it back off, and I can't go get my nails done or anything like that. So it's, I don't really feel like having to be two different people every day. So I don't know if if you're comfortable living like that, then I guess that's your decision. That's just me personally. I don't really want to have to do that and go through that, and it's just too much hassle. I've been hiding my inner self for 20-some years as it is. I'm fed up with it. I'm ready to just embrace my femininity and my girl self and just run with it. So, I don't really want to look for another job. Job hunting sucks. But, the resources I have, I could find something else if I needed to. I can be a cute little secretary somewhere. Probably not, but anyway, so yeah, that's really what's been going on for the last few weeks. It's been wild. It's been, fun and interesting, and I've done a few things over the last couple of weeks that I've never done before. So, like use the ladies' room at Walmart. If you haven't done that, you've definitely got to, because that was fun. That was weird. Nobody was in there but me and my friend Bree, but yeah. people were coming in as we were walking out, and it was just we couldn't do anything but laugh. It was funny. But yeah, so again, please feel free to comment. I'm getting so many views, and that really makes me feel good, because I feel like there's, somebody's watching. Whether or not you gain anything from listening to me ramble on about my life, I mean, that's great if you are, because ultimately it was videos up on YouTube just like mine that really inspired me to finally, be who I am. So, I mean, the couple of you that I am subscribed to, you should know that, I mean, you are a very big reason that I am where I am today. There was a point where I thought I was too old to start transitioning, because, I mean, I am 32, and so I was a little kind of figured, maybe I'm kind of too old to start all this, but, I really started, just educating myself online, looking up this and that, and, I bought some books, on the subject, and I've really just been trying to kind of learn as much as I can about, myself, I guess. I mean, I've never really taken any steps to really get educated about the subject, any more than what I thought that I knew, and which turned out a lot of which I really didn't. I thought I did, but I didn't. So, yeah, it's been really, really good. YouTube has been probably the most valuable resource. There's one thing to read all the medical jargon and crap like that online, or to, read people's opinions, or read, different procedures you may or may not have to go through, but to actually be able to watch someone else's life and transition unfold, especially within the same age group, it was really, really helpful and really inspirational to me. I mean, it's, and you see it all. I mean, there's, we are people just like everyone else, and we come in all shapes and sizes, and yeah, so definitely, if you're one of the ones out there that just kind of feel like you haven't found your place in this world, and you know that something's going on, especially if it's, gender related, then the best advice I can give you right now is just to, get on the internet, get on YouTube, Google, whatever you can, and just read, watch videos. I mean, I guarantee you that one of the first videos you click on will end up being someone that's just like you. Someone that's been through what you've been through, or that's going through what you're going through. And, that's what I found, and it inspired me enough to where I was like, you know what? If they can do it and pretty much be in the same situation as me, then I can do it. And finally be at peace and happy, and I'm so much happier now. I wake up, with no more lingering question about, who I am and stuff like that every day. My whole attitude and just outlook on life has changed so much. And, not to sound dramatic or anything, but it's just really, just the fact that I finally embraced who I am has changed my entire perspective on everything. And that although there are a couple that do not agree with my decision, there are a far huger amount, is that a word, huger, of people that do, and that they get it. And I've gone from, having this conversation with my wife and telling, my sister and stuff like that, and that number has grown into, like I said, like 30 some odd people now that know about, my plans, know about what I'm going through. They've seen pictures, they've watched my videos, and support me wholeheartedly. And it's just the most amazing feeling. I mean, I've gotten literally like 1% of negative feedback from this, or of people who aren't, supportive, which I think is really, kind of a key thing, is to have people who, you've got to have someone, whether it just be a friend, relative, somebody that supports you, somebody that's, there to tell you it's going to be okay. I love you no matter what, and that's really important, I think. So far, things are going fairly well, and I seem to be really optimistic about all this, and the fact of the matter is I haven't even scratched the surface yet. So, I mean, this is either a sign of great things to come, or this might be the start of it, might be the best part. I have no idea, but only time will tell, and I'm not afraid to find out. So, don't ever let anyone tell you that you're not who you think you are, or whatever. Like I said, you gotta be true to yourself. That's my tagline. So, anyone that doesn't accept you for who you are, whether you know who you are or not, if you think you know who you are and people don't like it, fuck them. You don't need them. Plain and simple. I mean, obviously, if you're a teenager and you live at home or something like that, then I guess you might want to pick and choose your battles carefully until the time comes where you're old enough to make your own decisions and move on. But, hopefully you know who you can tell and who you can't, or who's going to be supportive and who isn't, and stuff like that. So, life's a shovel. You gotta dig it. Anyway, I have to be up in like 6 hours for work, and I've got to scrub all this off my face, so I'm going to bed now. But thank you to my almost 600 people who have watched me, my 8 subscribers, none of which have left comments yet, but I'm not going to go on about that again. I've already told you, leave comments. You don't do it, that's fine. Whatever. But, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Always be true to yourself. Peace.